演奏玉たまま一度ついておいで世界中魅了するほどに豪華なジャパン一番ジャンプアランさうちらの出番テリヤキボーイズ in the place to be 見せてやろうオリジナル VIP
Many many diamonds dangling Bag full of money we strangling Hey
The acceleration of my truck from 0 kilometers per hour to 80 kilometers per hour, we use the formula in step 1, which is A equals V2 minus V1 over time. Over time, and the time it took me is 7.59 seconds equals 80 kilometers per hour divided by 7.59 seconds, which gives us 10.54 kilometers per hour per second. So from here, we have to convert kilometers per hour to second to meters per second squared using formula in step 2, which is, I'll do it up here, kilometers per hour per second times 1,000 meters times 1 divided by 3,600 hours per second. And we're using this number because, as you can see, there's 3,600 seconds in an hour and 1,000 meters in 1 kilometer. And that gives us so the final amount of time it took for my truck to accelerate from 0 to 80 would be 2.93 meters per second squared.
So from Rebecca's explanation, I know that I'm supposed to use this equation for acceleration. So that's what we did here. We were accelerating from 0 to 80 kilometers per hour. In my case, it took my car 8.65 seconds, so we plugged that into the equation here. And then 80 minus 0 is obviously 80, so we did 80 kilometers per hour divided by 8.65 seconds, which gave us an acceleration of 9.25 kilometers per hour per second. But then we have to convert that into meters per second squared. So that's where this equation comes in here. We did the same thing, we just plugged in the numbers. So we took my rate of acceleration in kilometers per hours per second, we multiplied it by 1,000 meters times 1 kilometer so that these all cancel out, and then we divide it also by the 3,600 hours per second. That'll cancel out as well. Then we have 9,250 kilometers per hour per meter per second divided by 3,600 hours per second, but those all cancel out, leaving us the variable of meters per second squared. In my case, my acceleration happened to be 2.57 meters per second squared.
The acceleration for my Lancer, we used the formula A equals V2 subtract V1 over time. So we went from 0 to 80, and my time was 8.6, giving me an acceleration point of 9.30 kilometers per hour per second. Next, we had to convert it to minutes per second. So using these formulas, we plugged in our numbers. So 9,300 kilometers per hour per second times 1,000 meters times 1 kilometer divided by 3,600 gave me 2.5 meters per second squared.
So to find the acceleration of my Honda, I use the equation A equals V2 minus V1 over time, which we went from 0 kilometers an hour to 80 kilometers an hour. So my time was 16.18 seconds. So 80 divided by 16.18 seconds was 4.94 kilometers per hour per second. So for the second step, we converted kilometers per hour per second to meters per second squared. So the kilometers per hour per second times 1,000 meters squared times 1 divided by 3,600 hours per second. And then we plug the numbers in, which is 4.94 kilometers per hour second times 1,000 meters times 1 kilometer divided by 3,600 hours per second. So then the 4,940 kilometers per hour per meter per second divided by 3,600 hours per second gave my car the acceleration of 1.37 meters per second squared.
So after calculating all of our acceleration rates, we found that
I won. I had the fastest vehicle.
My vehicle was second.
my Pontiac was third.
And mine was the slowest, and I lost.
Yeah. So that's our acceleration experiment. And
enjoyed.
Hope you like
yeah.
it.